Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते तुझे सागर शांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते सप्तकांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय। So Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for your kind appearance and participation. As I mentioned, between the speaker and the audience, the most important people are the audience. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to continue this series. It's really, really meditative for me also, because this series and also the Gaudiya Darshanam I did in Sanskrit earlier, it has to, you have to pull together different concepts together and present it in a very cohesive way. And so it's a very, very, what to say, immersive experience, even while preparation for me. So I'm very grateful that I get this opportunity to spend the time now that I quit my job. This is a very good use of my time. Now that kids are very busy in their studies, I also need to be very absorbed in a very positive way. So I'm very grateful that I'm getting this opportunity. That some of you are supporting me in encouraging me in this service. Okay, so today we are going to do session 7, very, very important crux of the whole series. We all know that the karma cycle is the one which is actually making us go into the cycle of birth and death. Even Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino, Arjuna Krishna says, right? Even if we go to Brahma Loka or even you go to Patala Loka, everywhere because of karma, we have to come back again, and take birth. We are stuck in this cycle of birth and death. So the ultimate thing which is making us bound is the karma. So, then if somebody is intelligent, they will ask, okay, then how do I break the cycle of karma? So I don't have to go through this again. So, so I can be peaceful at least in one place, wherever I am, whatever it is, that situation. So that's where is today we are going to cover. So let's see, it's going to be very little bit technical and deep. So let's see how we can go through that. Okay, so we discussed introduction. Now we are discussing the 5 main topics of Bhagavad-gītā. We discussed about Ishvara and his energies and Krishna and how he is the supreme personality and is the source of everything. He's called absolute truth from whom everything emanates. We discussed about Jiva, all of us who are, even though we are spiritual in nature, we can be influenced by the material nature, which is inferior to us, but because it's very gigantic, which is very powerful, that it could influence us and make us believe that we are this body and forget our, or rather, we don't even have knowledge of our relationship with God, Krishna. And this material energy, even though it's material inferior, it's actually Daivi Prakriti. It's connected to Krishna and it's very powerful. And the purpose of which is to keep the conditioned souls busy, because they want to enjoy separate from Krishna, so that she can give the allurement. Okay, enjoy this, enjoy this, enjoy this. And when a very fortunate soul, after trying to enjoy, becomes dissatisfied, then it starts inquiring, okay, what is an alternative in my life? I never am happy, something wrong with this. Then they come to same Paramatma, who is neutral, who can direct us for our satisfying our desires, could also direct us now to the Sangha of devotees. And there we will get to hear about spiritual topics and understand what's the goal of life, which is prema, and gradually make progress towards that. And then the time factor is one which deteriorates everybody, but a person who's engaging one's life in devotion to Lord, for them, they're actually coming closer to eternality, because the moment they quit their body, they are going to attain spiritual world. So that's why it has a different effect on different people. And karma, we discussed there are two aspects to it. Karma is what we do, and karma is what we get in reaction. So we discussed the aspect of what we do last time, and we discussed about work in three different modes and the motivations, how it affects, and also how the action and the worker in three different modes. Now we are going to discuss about the reactions, right? And other thing, important thing to note, among all these five things, the first four, what we discussed highlighted here, are spiritual and eternal. Whereas the karma is the only one which is temporary, because that itself should give us a hope that actually I can change my karma, I can exhaust it, I can make it zero. But rest of it are all spiritual and energies of Krishna. Okay, we already discussed material energy and time. Everything is energy of Krishna. Jiva is also part and parcel of Krishna. But only karma is very, very bound to material world. And the moment we exhaust our karma, we can enter spiritual world where there's no principle of karma only. Okay, that's the things we need to think about. Okay, so now let's get into our main crux of our discussion. Karma, we are discussing about reaction for the activities. So we discussed this a connection between the previous one and today, is that the complexity of karma, right? Krishna tells like kim karma akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñatva mokshase shubhat. He says, what is karma? What is akarma? Even Kavaya, the intelligent people also do not know. They get bewildered by this. Therefore, I will tell that today, so that you will get liberated. In the sense, will be ashubhat, from inauspiciousness. You will get liberated. That's what Krishna tells. And he tells karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. So he says one should know what is karma, one should know what is vikarma, what is akarma. So that, because the karma, the actions of karma are very, very deep. So unless little bit knowledge one has, one should act properly. Otherwise, they will get reverse reaction. See, these days, so-called people on the name of religion, they're actually killing people from the other sects, thinking, oh, this is what my religion is telling. And for them, they feel, oh, this is the right thing to do. But actually, they are creating so severe reactions for themselves that they have to suffer in hell like anything. So that without knowledge, people do like that, in ignorance, so much in ignorance. That's why one should know what is a prescribed action, what is a forbidden action, and what is action which doesn't result in any reaction, which is nothing but actions in bhakti. So we discussed all this in detail last time. So this is just a connection from the previous discussion. So now let's get into this divisions of karma. So we can imagine that we have unlimited, unending pile of karma to be experienced. All of us, we are called conditioned souls, nitya baddha. So all of us, since time immemorial, we are in this material world. So obviously in every life, especially in human life, we accrue karma. We would have taken many human lives and we would have created so many karma. So you can all think of it as like a big grain factory. A lot of grains are already stocked up, which are meant to be experienced. There are many like this. You can think of in infinite. This is called stockpile of karma. This is called sanchita karma or collected karma. Okay, collected karma. So this is in Sanskrit. Yat sangrahitam asti agamishu janmasu anubhoktavyam, which is collected and which has to be experienced in the future lifetimes. Okay. Next, then the other one is called prarabdha karma. Prarabdha means it's already begun. Okay, this life. So in this life, from this stockpile, when the death happens, little bit of that karma is chosen, and based on the factor of that karma and with the influence of the material nature, a particular birth is chosen for the jiva. Particular body is chosen, and three factors are decided at the moment of birth. One is the jati, or the caste, or the place where we are born, the family, the parents and the culture and the history, that specific jati where we are born. And the second one is the ayu, the how much ever we live, what is our lifespan. Third one is how much happiness we will get. All these three things are predetermined, and then we will be given, the material nature gives us a material body on the particular family, and a set of karma is meant to be experienced in this life is set into motion. You can imagine that like a fan is already started running at a particular speed. It's like that. There is no way to escape the thing which is already set in motion, except that's what is today's discussion, except one takes up to a yoga process. Okay, so that's the only way one can, even this life what we are experiencing can be changed. We'll discuss that here. So basically, anubhavantah smaha, what we are experiencing, durjatihi, rogaha, sharira avayavaha, what type of bodies we get. For example, somebody is born very, very beautiful. Somebody is born with, not so much beauty. It's all determined based on our karma. And dhana vidya rahitatvam. And somebody is without knowledge, somebody is without wealth, but somebody is born with a silver spoon in a big palace, right? And somebody has to experience priyajana maranam. Somebody has to experience the death of the loved ones, but somebody has a close knit family and they live happily. So these are all factors of karma actually. And then once you get that particular body, if it's a human body, then whatever you do, that generates new karma. It's called kriyamana karma. New karma gets generated. Yasya vayam idanim bijan sthapayantasma. We are creating new bija for these things. Okay, bhavishyat kale tat phalam anubhoktavyam. In future, and sometimes in the same life, sometimes in future lives, that new bijas have to be experienced. So as if like we are creating new things which are again going back to the stockpile. So we instead of exhausting, so only this much we are exhausting. See, the way we exhaust karma is by experiencing it. Let's assume in this life, by end of this life, let's say all of this gets exhausted. But we create much more than that, which gets added to the stockpile. You can imagine, right, how complicated this is. Right? So this is all the things which we are dealing with. Everybody is clear about these concepts? Any doubt?
What is the first one? I missed it.
Sanchita karma. It's collected karma, which is a stockpile of from all the lifetimes. Okay, from that little bit is selected, and that we are getting this body. And while in this body, we generate new karma, and that is this. Sheetalji, you have to say something?
No, I'm clear. I'm clear with it.
Clear. Okay, let's go on. So basically, our task is how we can exhaust them separately. How we can make this zero, how we can make this zero, how we can make this zero. Understand, right? So that's how we'll tackle this. Okay, so then before that, first we need to understand what are the principles behind this karma principle, or rather, what is the purpose of this karma? Why God should have this principle of karma in the first place, right? First is accountability. See, imagine if there is no principle of karma and somebody is born rich, somebody is born poor, then people will actually say God is unfair. I didn't do anything, and why I have gotten this poor body, like that.
But accountability means like, okay, that you have done certain thing because of which only you are getting like this. So then okay, I am responsible for this. Then again, responsibility. I am responsible for this, and that's why I'm getting it. But now I know I have a choice now what to do. Based on this, I know if I go this way, I will get more of this negative things. If I go this way, I will get positive things. Based on that, I will be accountable, and I cannot escape. I cannot escape. Whatever it is, I cannot escape. So then you will be very, very cautious about your actions, the choices you make. And the principle of karma is not about punishment. It's actually about rectification. So to cure the disease of severe disease of enjoyment, separate from Krishna. So that is, for example, let's say somebody does very bad in the society, right? Somebody is killing people and things like that. Then this is in order to not harm the society more, they're put in a jail, and some people are given life sentence for that. But let's say in the prison, they somehow get the kind of realization, hey, I should not do like this. Why did I do? If I get one more chance, I'm going to fix my life. I'm going to live a normal life, and I'm going to have a wife, children, and I'm going to train them properly. I'm not going to do these bad things. And they come to realize and they show good behavior in the prison. Then there may be a possibility that somebody can say, okay, instead of lifetime imprisonment, okay, let's give him only maybe few years and give him chance. There's a possibility like that. The judge or the boss can decide. So similarly, even though the karma is invincible, the principle of karma has to be exhausted only by experiencing. But still the boss, the Krishna who created the whole world and the whole principles, can actually overrule it when he decides that we are coming to become good citizens, in the sense that we are no more interested in enjoying separate from him, but we rather want to help in his enjoyment. See, but somebody may think it may also be selfish from Krishna's point of view, why he has done this, right? But what to do? That's how we have been created. See, for example, this body is there, and hand and body parts are there. So we cannot say, hand cannot think now, okay, I want to enjoy separate from body. I want to go away somewhere and do on my own something and I'll be happy. If it thinks like that, it cannot be happy. This hand has to cooperate with the body, and it has to take the food and put it to the mouth and let it go to the stomach, the root of the body, and then it generates energy and spreads everywhere, and then the hand will be happy. So that is his dharma, basically. That's how it's meant to be. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. Our existence, our dharma is in service to Krishna, but doesn't mean the service what we see in the material world of exploitation where we are miserable. This service is full blissful service. By serving Krishna, we also experience greatest happiness, as much as the soul can experience. Okay, so that's why essentially we have to come back to our root essence, the constitutional position. That's what Srila Prabhupada calls it. When we come back, as much as we come back to constitutional position, then the purpose of karma is fulfilled actually. Then this person doesn't need to go through so many lives, because the rectification has achieved. You see what the point, right? So instead of going through so many lives, the karma cycle gets cut completely. And the only way is either through experiencing or through yoga process. Yoga means to link back. So there are multiple yogas. That's what the next series we will discuss: Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. So with any of the processes, most of the karma can be exhausted. Bhakti Yoga is the most practical for this age. So that's what I have taken up, and that's what I will share more also in this session. Okay, and this karma is Anadi Siddham, Anantam. Anadi Siddham means it's like almost coming from unlimited point of time, and it's unlimited also. Okay, so basically we are in this world from unlimited amount of time. So that's why we cannot even count how much karma we have to experience. And this karma eva samsara chakre brahmanasya hetuhu. So this karma is the only one which is resulting us to again take birth. Different species are going higher or down in the material planetary system, from Sargaloka
Pataloka, like that. Okay. So that is the root cause. So once we kill the karma, then we don't need to take birth again. And other important thing is it's fully fair. We always feel, oh, I didn't do anything bad actually to anybody. Why I have to go through this? Why that person, even though this person does so many mean things, why he's become my manager? I am, taken last time, Sujata also asked this question. I am now becoming good. I am doing devotional service. I am trying to cultivate good qualities. But, this boss is dominating me. They are putting me down. Why I have to deal with it? We may feel like that. But whatever we experience is exactly what we are meant to face. So the very nice shloka, it says like Yatha dhenu sahasreshu vatso vindati mataram tatha purvakrutam karma kartaram anugacchati. Kartaram means the person who has done the activity. Purvakrutam karma, the karma which is already has done by that person, anugacchati follows. How? Just as dhenu sahasreshu vatsaha, among the many millions of Denu cows are there, the Vatsaha, the calf, directly goes and finds its mother. He doesn't get confused. Who is my mother? Even though for us, all the cows seem same, everybody seems same. We cannot distinguish. But the calf exactly knows what is its mother and it goes there. Similarly, our previous reaction exactly finds the right person, right, eligible person and comes to us. So there is no, cannot even, what is a doubt about this. There should not be any doubt that what we are experiencing is not what we deserve. Okay. So that's what is the whole principles of karma. So now let's go to how by yoga, bhakti yoga especially, we can kill this karma cycles. Okay. So before that, first we need to think about now bhakti. What is bhakti? So can we have some little thoughts? What do you feel as bhakti from your understanding? Just one liner.
I feel just taking the name of any guru or Krishna just makes you feel very different. And bhakti, I also feel is seva. That's what I
Okay.
have learned.
Very nice. Yes. Okay. Any other points, Sujata? Yeah.
We are like a bhakti means we should accept there is someone who created us and showing attitude. Gratitude.
Very nice. Yes. So accepting that, we are breathing air and earth, everything we are living in, is somebody is given and we reciprocate. We cannot do much, but show little gratitude to them. Very good. Yeah, very nice. So this exactly is in line with the definition. Bhakti, if you go to root word in Sanskrit, is coming from bhaja sevayam. Sevayam is service and aradhanayam, worship. And tin, there's a pratyaya or suffix added to that. So actually, it means devotion. That's what English translation. Or it means taking shelter. Also, we understand we are tiny, and He is supremely powerful, and He is well wishing to us. We discussed all the concepts. So we want to take shelter so that we feel protected in this world while we are going through so much turmoil. And also, is a symptom of, is a way of surrender, like how Draupadi, right? When no other rescue was there for her, nobody could help, her own strength, her own hands could not help. See, she completely uttered names in utter desperation, and Krishna protected her completely. Right? So bhakti actually is, generally people call it devotion, but as Sheetalji mentioned, bhakti is actually seva, devotional service. So when there is love, there is seva. There is no meaning for love when there is no seva. See, for example, if we if the kids, if mother tells the, everybody of you may have kids, right? Mother tells the kids, oh, I love you nana, I love you nana, but she doesn't do anything, she doesn't cook for them, and the kids come back from school and they're hungry and they're waiting and she says, I love you nana, I love you nana. Doesn't make sense. If you love, then obviously you take care of the needs, right? You cook nice food for them, healthy food, make it ready by the time they come, hot, sit with them, so give them, ask them what happened in the school. So these are all the ways we do the seva, love, right? So similarly, when we say love God, then we have to, there are ways in which we can express that also. Somebody says, oh, I just keep it in my heart, why should I show? It's a show off. Why should I show? No, when there is in the heart so much, you would want to do something for the Lord. So that's what is devotional service. So the
Very
definition.
beautifully said, Shamala, for the baby. I would say it's an unconditional love. You will do everything. That's where, when you don't have anyone, you go on to Krishna, because you don't have anyone. So he's the one to do it. And today is Mother's Day. I have to just take this opportunity to say Happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh,
And
thank you. All of you, all the mothers. Oh, very nice, very
yes.
nice. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says the only closest to selfless love we can see in this world is a mother's love for the child. So from the even before the baby is born, mother is only giving, giving, giving. Not even father's love, mother's love, right? And they take care from the so many phases of their childhood, and the kids grow up. As we grow up, we also actually forget what we receive from our parents. Only when we become mothers we realize how much our parents have done for us, right? So that's the closest to selfless love, and that's actually the definition of Uttama-Bhakti. Uttama-Bhakti is a definition is given. Actually, there's a definition for bhakti. It's given by our Acharya Srila Rupa Goswami. He wrote a book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, ocean of nectar of bhakti rasas. So amazing. It's kind of like, people think, oh, bhakti sentiment, what you guys are doing. It's very, very scientific, and there is lot of definitions given. There's a process given. There are stages. You can always measure where you are, what is the next step, how to go further. So very, very scientific. That's why I tell the Prabhupada also tells, we don't need blind following. You put your intelligence, try to understand properly. And then when intelligence is fixed, nobody can disturb you from your determination. That's what Sujati was telling other day. That she became so fixed up in her processes that her husband got little bit, kind of, oh, she's getting too fast into it, so like that. So, but of course, we don't, we help all the family come closer to Krishna. It's not that we're running away from them. They may feel insecure because you are changing too fast for them, but you are changing for good. Okay, so let's come to the definition. अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यं ज्ञानकर्माध्यनावृतम् आनुकूल्येन कृष्णानुशीलनं bhaktiruttama. So Uttama Bhakti means the two main symptoms or characteristics. One is called the main Lakshana, other one or Mukhya Lakshana, other one is Gauna Lakshana. The main thing which should always be there is Anukulyena. So it should be favorable to Krishna. Krishna means Krishna and all the avatars of main Vishnu avatar like Rama, Narayana, Narsimha, everybody is included in this. So, and it should be favorable to him. So we cannot keep scolding Krishna all the time. Oh, why you did this to me? Why you did? And we cannot tell it's, oh, I'm remembering Krishna, though it's bhakti. No, it should be pleasing to him. So pleasing, we know, right? What is pleasing means it should be like, oh, Krishna, you're so beautiful. I like to see you. I want to see you, like that. Very, when will I see you? I'm so eager to meet you. So like that. If we were to talk to Krishna. Okay, and that's it's called favorable attitude. And anushilana means activities. So it could be physical activities like, for example, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We'll discuss in Bhakti Yoga section. There are 9 ways we can express our devotion. Here starts with hearing. Shravanam, then we glorify, and then remember, and things like that. And also there is a way in which at a higher level we can relate with Krishna with our emotions, not really physical activities. Nobody can see what's going on, but we can be sit still in one particular place, but we can remember Krishna and experience happiness within the mind, or we experience sadness that he is not there, or experience anger that he has done certain things to Srimati Radharani or whatever, right? So these are all the emotional sentiments or the bhakti at an emotional level. That's a higher stages. Okay, but both are included in this Anushilanam. And other part, or the or little bit secondary part, is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. So when we do bhakti, we are not seeking for anything material. Okay, I'm doing bhakti, okay, Krishna will make my job, I'll get a promotion, or nothing material we should be seeking. Of course, I'm telling the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Initially, when we start, we may have motives, it's okay. But we should know that the pure devotion means only doing for for the sake of bhakti. So what do we want when bhakti? From bhakti, we want bhakti so that higher stages I can go further to get prema. Prema is the highest stage. So that should be our goal for when whatever activities we do. Shunyam. So that's all become shunyam. Other desires become shunyam. And it should also be uncovered, anavritam, uncovered by jnana and karma. This jnana is the knowledge about impersonal Brahman. And the karma is about fruitive activities like, oh, if I do this is similar to this. If I do this, I will get this, I will get this. All these motives are not there basically. We are doing only to give pleasure to Krishna and his devotees. That's it. So this is a definition, and of course we will delve on this definition little further with a chart I will display in the next session of Bhakti Yoga when we discuss. But this I have to touch because we need to depict how this Bhakti Yoga can help us, right? So then now when we get into the categories of Bhakti, there are different categories. As I said, this is very, very scientific. Okay. So sa bhakti sadhanam bhava prema cheti trivida. Tridodita. 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 Okay. So it's three ways. One is called sadhana bhakti. Okay. Other one is called bhava bhakti. Other one is called prema bhakti. So Uttamā-Bhakti we are discussing. So sadhana is a practice stage. Like all of us, we are told, for example, okay, you chant like this, you offer bhoga, or you read the scriptures. This is a practice stage. We are practicing. Then finally, it becomes a second nature. So initially, now we are forcing. Many people of you asked, oh, how do I remember Krishna all the time? So we don't have that remembrance. So we have to ask the question, how do I remember? But once we practice and when we get cleansed of the impurities, then it becomes natural to think of Krishna. Nobody, actually, you have to force yourself for your tongue to stop saying Krishna's name. That will be the higher stages. So that will be the goal. Sadhya is the goal. So by doing sadhana, we get the goal, sadhya. And sadhya is of two aspects, bhava and prema. Bhava, where you have emotions for Krishna, that you want to see him in a particular way, you miss him and things like that, and you sometimes you cry and things like that. And then this is a preliminary stage of prema, and just around the corner you get prema, where every minute, every second, you are only, anything you see, you're only remembered of Krishna and his associates and the loving relationships and things like that. So that's the final stage. Even in this world, it's possible to come, or actually, we should we should target to come. That's the goal of human life, to attain this stage. Okay. So now we discuss the stages. Now we need to discuss there are qualities of Uttamā-Bhakti. When somebody does this Uttamā-Bhakti or pure devotional service, it gives us some results. Even though scientifically, what do we get? Okay, if I do this Uttamā-Bhakti, I don't want anything, I want only bhakti, so what do I get, right? So this is given in this very nice kind of definition. Kleshagni shubhada moksha laghuta krit sudurlabha sandrananda visheshatma Sri Krishna karshini chasa. So there are 6 effects of Uttamā-Bhakti. When we do pure devotional service, it results in 6 things. First, and also these are mapped to the stages. That's why I talked about the stages earlier. Kleshagni. Klesha means obstacles, or that's exactly how it ties into the karma thing which we are discussing. Klesha means the things which are not happy, which doesn't make us happy, basically. There are obstacles or miseries. We can think of it like that. Gni means to kill. Kleshan hanti iti kleshagni. This sadhana bhakti, when we do, it can actually result in kleshagni, destruction of our material miseries. And shubhada, on opposite, it gives shubhada, shubham dadati iti. It gives you auspiciousness. So even the beginning stages of devotional service, we can see. Last time Sujata shared, right? Oh, I'm feeling more peaceful. I'm so happy. I'm calm. So that is all because of the results of sadhana you're doing. It's results. Immediately we are seeing. And also your life starts becoming more and more auspicious. You'll get, some very, very nice things. Very bhakti related, not like material things we are not seeking. But sometimes Krishna may give material things also. Because we are so focused, we are focused at work. We may get promotion faster than our friends. Who knows? right? And similarly, and the other two, which we are not, other things are at the higher stages. Bhava leads to moksha laguta krut, means where you feel at the bhava stage, I really don't want liberation actually. All I want is the connection with Krishna. Even if it's any lifetime, anywhere I am, if I'm able to think of Krishna, I'm okay. That's what it is. And it's very, very rare. This stage is very rare actually. It's given only for very special people um, who have heaps of bhakti, and is given by the internal potency, because bhava is a preliminary stage of prema. Once somebody gets prema, Krishna gets captured. That's why it's called Sri Krishna Karshini. It attracts Krishna. No, Krishna cannot escape that love, that unalloyed love the devotee is expressing. Whatever happens, he doesn't want to forget Krishna, and he remembers Krishna in a very positive, favorable way. So automatically, Krishna gets captured basically. So that's why he gives only to very special people after testing for so many things. If you see the history of all the pure devotees, right, their life was never easy. They had to go through so many tests, right, to show that actually Krishna, I want only you, nothing else. And then it is also Sandrananda Visheshatma. It's a embodiment of condensed happiness. So at prema level, the happiness one experiences is like much, much more than the happiness of liberation, even in the Brahman platform, like that. So much happiness the soul can experience. So it's happiness also, and at the same time you can see Krishna's presence, and Krishna physically also could come and give you darshan at a prema level. That's what our acharyas speak. In this world, it's possible. In this life also. So these are the stages. So our main focus will be on this Klesh Agni. So we'll go into some of the points which our acharyas describe. Rupa Goswami, what is Klesha? Okay. So Klesha or miseries, Kleshastu papam tad bijam avidya cheti te trida aprarabdam bhavet papam prarabdam cheti tad vida. So that's where we are tying back to our karma principle. See, if you see, aprarabdam is nothing but aprarabdha karma, and prarabdam is a prarabdha karma, two aspects of this. And what are the kleshas? Kleshas are nothing but papam, bijam, avidya. So if I have to put it in a chart, so the kleshas are nothing but avidya. It's all starts from ignorance, because we don't know who we are. We don't know have any relationship with Krishna and Lord. So we just act out of lack of knowledge. So we don't. That's why see somebody. Let's say if somebody enters a new country, and they don't know that in this country they have to drive on the right versus left, and they start driving the way they do in their home country. Obviously the cop will catch them and say, what you're doing, right? Because of ignorance he did a mistake. But ignorance is not an excuse. So so that's the reason we are meant to face reactions, and karma always is there to check us. But that is because of which we do bad things, and because of that there are seeds of dusamskara. We have bad seeds that I want to like I want to kill somebody, or I want to steal things. All these things we have accumulated from many lifetimes. Durvasanas, many seeds are there. Sometimes even if we know, oh, I should not become angry, somehow we become angry. So there is no way to control all this, because we are impelled to act based on our nature, which is coming conditioned nature, which is coming from many lifetimes. So these are all seeds, right? And then the seed, once you have the seed, you act on it, then obviously you do bad thing, and you have to face a reaction, which is nothing but our papa. Got it, right? So there's a seed stage, which even though somebody can maybe get rid of all this, because you have the tendency, it's most likely you will again do the same thing. So that's why we have to tackle at all these levels. So the yoga or the karma cycle should actually cut all these levels. In my chart of karma, I showed prarabdha karma, kriyamana karma. But if you go even more subtler, then there is the root desires which is causing us to do bad things, and the ignorance because of which we are doing all this. All these things have to be removed. So what we'll do further is actually quote Shastra Pramana, where all these things will gradually be removed with bhakti. That's what the essence or the solution is. Bhakti can remove all of this. If you can just get that much, that's good. But if you want kind of the strengthen your intelligence by the Shastra Pramana, that's what we will discuss in the next few slides. Okay, just again to show here. Avidya is ignorance. Bija is papasya bija, durvasana, at bad inclinations. And the results is the karma phalam, is papam. And the sequence is like this. Because of avidya, we get bad inclinations. Because of that, we do bad activities and we have to face reactions. So that's a sequence. Then Kleshagni is nothing but karma bandhana vimukti, is a breakage or breakage from the cycle of birth and death, and which is given by bhakti, as we saw already. So now let's tackle how to break the cycle of karma. Now we given all the background. Now we are getting to the actual proof of how it can be done. So prarabdha haratvam. So prarabdha again is already started in this life. We are already started with certain karma to begin with. Okay, so what saying is shloka. I'll try to sing this. Ennamadeya shavananu kirtanat yat prahvanat yat smaranadikvachit shvadopi sadya savanaya kalpate kutah punaste bhagavannu darshanat. What they're telling is, by Namadeya, by remembering somebody's Krishna's name, and by hearing, by kirtana, by doing kirtana, and by offering obeisances, prahvanat, and smaranat, by remembering, kvachit, kirtanat is glorifying, kvachit, somebody, even once if you do, suddenly, or sometimes if you do, shvadopi, shvadaha is a shvaha is a dog. Okay. Shvadaha means a person who eats a dog. So dog eater also, sadhyaha, immediately, savanaya kalpate, he becomes eligible to become yagyas. Only brahmanas are meant to do yagas. But this person who's a dog eater is immediately become eligible to become do the yagyas. So that means is durjati. The prarabdha karma, the symptom of prarabdha karma is durjati. So that jati, the effect of that jati is practically removed. That he is actually considered, the Shastras consider him as very, very qualified, right? When kutaha kutaha bhagavannu darshanam, then what to speak of a person who directly has darshan with Krishna, either in the heart or directly in person. For such person, there is, he is beyond this life actually. There's nothing to do for this, for him. He just has to do devotional service. So if you look at the translation, somebody can read this.
To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. Even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. If he once utters the holy name of Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him.
Yeah, see, that's how powerful bhakti is, right? I also sometimes, after I take up devotional service, I sometimes regret, why I've been born in a family of meat-eating family, and I was, without my knowledge, I ended up eating, doing so many sinful reactions. I regret often. But what can you do now? Already the life has set into motion. All I can do is what is in my hand. So Krishna is so merciful that he will not punish us for the things we regret, and so that karma can be removed completely. So otherwise it is said that, as I mentioned last time, for every hair on the body of the animal gets killed, that many times we have to also get killed, and like by somebody, and die. So that much reactions we have to face, and how much mercy is bhakti is doing, that it's completely removing all of that, right? So then the example for this, or the illustration for this, this is a person who's eating dogs, but somehow he's got in touch with association and he's starting to chant. Actually chanting, we think, it's so easy. It's so, actually acharyas, they regret. See, everybody has a tongue, but they don't have the inclination to chant God's names. because they don't have the piety. Somebody is asking chant, 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 and the husband is telling can't, can't, can't. He can tell can't, he cannot tell chant. So, so like this, for example, my parents, I tried to help them after knowing all of this, and like, now you're very old, you're about to die, please chant, let's least last phase you do something. But still, they cannot, they don't have the piety, they still eat meat, and still uh, and they cannot even utter the names. The piety is not. Krishna says tesham tesham papa karma. So whoever the papa karma is reduced and they got punya, only those people are eligible to chant the names also. Don't think it's a simple thing that you are able to hear this knowledge, and that you are even hearing about importance of hearing the holy, chanting the holy name. That's a very, very rare opportunity actually, very rare. Okay, so now let's go to aprarabdha haraptvam. Aprarabdha is the pile, stockpile in the go down. Right? How does that get removed? Yathagni susamruddharchi karotye dhamsi basmasat tata madvishaya bhaktir uddavainamsi kritsnashaha. Okay, so what Krishna is telling is Yatha Agnihi, the fire, blazing fire, which is susamrudarchihi, which is blazing nicely. Karoti edhamsi basmasat. Edhamsi is the firewood. Basmasat completely converts into ashes. Just as a blazing fire converts the firewood into ashes, tatha, this like that, madvishaya bhakti, bhakti about me, enamsi, papani, or the sinful reactions, krishna saha, krits, kritsna shaha, completely it evacuate. It's basically extinguishes. Bhakti, Uddhava, hey Uddhava. That's how, just as a firewood is burned to ashes without just with the blazing fire of fire, similarly, the fire of devotion burns all the sinful reactions. So that's a most purifying thing, the bhakti. So, my dear Uddhava, just as a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, similarly, devotion unto me completely burns the ashes um, burns to ashes sins committed by my devotees. Just imagine the go down of all dried grains, right? Which is our karma. And somebody just puts a fire to the go down. How much time it takes, right? It just within very fast, the whole grains can get burnt. That same example is being used there. Krishna is himself telling, if you do my bhakti with such uttama, that topmost bhakti with such intensity, if you do, then I nothing, I'll clear all the sinful reactions from the go down very fast, very quickly. Now, the other elements is bija. We have sinful inclinations. So, how does that inclination go away? Because, see, we already have the conditioned nature because of previous lives. Okay, maybe the prarabdha karma goes away, maybe aprarabdha goes away, but my nature is still there. So, I'm going to create new things. So, how will that go away? Correct? So, that's a very important question to ask. Because, okay, everything clears everything, but then again, I'm going to become angry, again, I'm going to shout and create kriyamana karma, new karma. So how will that get extinguished? So that's why they're telling Taistatanyagani puyante tapodana vratadibihi na dharmajam tad hrudayam tadapi shangri sevaya. So what he's telling is uh, taihi taihi tani aghani, the papani puyante. So all this papa also, they cannot be purified by tapo dana vrata. See, by tapa dana and vrata, actually the sinful reactions can be purified. Okay, aghani puyante, they purify sinful reactions, but that na adharmajam. Jam means to create. The one, the one which makes us do the adharma, the root cause which makes us do the adharma, tad hrudayam, the bija, the seed, or the sinful, or rather proclivities to do bad things. Tad also, tadapi isha angri sevaya. Isha means Supreme Lord, Angri means lotus feet, Sevaya. By doing the service to the lotus feet of the Lord, that also goes away. So the bija or the bad proclivities, those also go away. See, it's described like, for example, the elephant takes bath, but he comes to the mud and immediately it puts the dirty mud again immediately onto the body. So even though our sinful reactions may be reduced to zero, if the tendency is not reduced or cleared out, we will again commit the same thing. So similarly, but then the bhakti is so powerful that it can remove the sinful tendency also. Okay. See, although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires from one's heart. So still we may have desire to enjoy. But however, if one serves the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, he is immediately freed from such contamination also. So the root, we are handling from the root. Now bija is also going away, essentially. So we will never think of anything else other than to serve Krishna. So I will try to share one, very humbly share one experience. So actually, this past few days, we moved here 3 days. We set up everything, and then my husband had to do some work in farm in Shingeri, back in Shingeri. And my kids also felt, oh, Gurukula is not starting. Okay, we didn't visit Shingeri. They were in hometown with their mother-in-law, my grandmother, their mother, grandmother, everybody so far 1 month. So they wanted to visit Shingeri again, visit the people there and see everything. So they also went. So almost like 4 or 5 days, my husband took the kids and went. I was alone at home. So and of course one maid was coming and she was helping me cut vegetables. So I was cooking and eating. So you can imagine, I have internet, I have laptop, everything is there. I can do anything basically. Anybody can do. But somehow, I was, of course, I was maybe checking news once in a while. Bengal election, that's what I was checking. But because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace is Bengal and we are in, our new temple is coming up. So I was interested that, if nice government comes, then our bhakti and the processes will flourish. That was my interest. I checked little bit. That's how much I did. But otherwise, I really like to maybe prepare for these classes, spend time, even though I was alone. I wanted to do all of this more than anything else. I could have maybe went and browsed something or did whatever, whatever. I don't know what people do. But I felt, how the bhakti process is so powerful that it has helped me so much that I was able to peacefully. Otherwise, I go crazy. Nobody is there to talk to. These people are in the form. They are not reachable on the phone. I didn't bother them. They didn't bother me. I was happy here and they were happy there. So how it's able to do that? It's so amazing. Actually, I had that realization. Wow, how much it helped me. So definitely it will help everybody. I am like an ordinary person, like all of us. I'm also coming from a sinful background, as I mentioned. So if bhakti can help me come to a certain stage of purity, then definitely it will help all of us. So the process is very, very effective and very, very powerful. So that's what is the point I wanted to tell. Nothing about greatness about me. It's all the mercy of my spiritual master and the power of the process. Okay, I maybe one credit is maybe I sincerely applied, that's all. But otherwise, everything, all the credit goes to our spiritual masters. Okay, next is avidya nasha. So beyond the bija is the ignorance. So how can the ignorance be removed? That's also, then that means the ignorance can be removed when we get knowledge, right? Opposite of ignorance is knowledge. So that's what this is telling. कृतानुयात्रा विद्याभिर्हरिभक्तिरनुत्तमा अविद्यां निर्दहत्याशु दावज्ज्वालेव पन्नगीम्. So this is what is saying that vidyabhihi, by all the different types of knowledge, anuyatra, I mean they're following, kruta, they're following, they're doing anuyatra of what? Hari bhakti anuttama, who wherever there is an unalloyed devotional service to Hari, all the knowledge follows them. Okay, automatically knowledge automatically comes to them. That what does not that knowledge do? Avidyam nirdahati, it kills the avidya completely. Just like Davajwaleva Pannagim. Let's say in the forest, there is a forest fire and there is a snake, and the forest fire will just like that kill the snake, burn the snake into ashes. Similarly, This avidya or ignorance, which is like a snake, we can be burned to ashes just because of our potential of our bhakti, and vidya, because vidya is following our bhakti immediately. Okay, this is a very nice verse again. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janatyashu Vairagnyam Jnanam Chaya Yad Ahaitukam. So by doing bhakti, Vasudeve for Krishna, by doing bhakti for Krishna, Janayati, Ashu, very quickly produces Vairagyam and Jnanam. It produces detachment from this world, and also it gives the knowledge to proceed further. So both will automatically come. We should not artificially try to. That's why I tell, don't try to stop anything. Just add Krishna to our life. You don't have to do. Of course, in gradually, we have to eliminate things which are not favorable. But it's a gradual process. All we have to do is just to bhakti first, then everything else follows. Okay. So then again, Chaitanya Sankirtan, it says Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It cleanses the heart of all the dirty things. And Vidya Vadu Jivanam, it's a life of the bride of knowledge. So Sankirtan is a life of wife of knowledge. So wherever husband is, the chaste wife follows. Similarly, wherever we do Sankirtana, the knowledge automatically follows us. So there is nothing extra to be done. Just all we have to do is follow the processes of bhakti, which we'll discuss in the next session. So now wrapping up, what we have done is given pramana for how the prarabdha can be eliminated, how, for example, a dog eater also can be eligible for doing yagas, and aprarabdha can be burnt like a firewood burnt to ashes. That is all part of papa. And bija, the sinful proclivities, inclinations also can be removed. Even though the tendencies are removed, because of that we may tend to commit again. That can also be removed because it's like a snake. uh, no, that's bija, because of the lotus feet, service to the lotus feet. That also removes, Krishna says. Uddhava, hey Uddhava, he says. Then avidya also can be removed, as just as a snake gets burnt in a forest fire. So by this, all the klesha, the whole thing gets, I should put a big cross here, goes away by doing bhakti. Okay, and bhakti is such a simple and very practical process in this age. Okay, so then again, wrapping up, we discussed how aprarabdha karma can be gone, prarabdha karma can be gone. Now we have to very briefly, we will tackle how kriyamana karma can be eliminated. So this we already touched upon this already, right? This is what we discussed. How we touched upon that if you just do bhakti every time, then that actions will become inaction, doesn't result in any reaction. इह यस्या हरेर्दास्ये कर्मणा मनसा गिरा निखिला स्वाप्यवस्थासु जीवन मुक्त सयुच्यते. So whoever in this life with his actions, with his mind and with his words is only doing Harer Bhakti, Harer Dasya, is only serving Krishna, then in all the situations he is already considered liberated. He is Jivan Mukta. There is nothing, he is not creating any more reactions. He's already liberated actually. It's just the matter of the quitting of the body that he actually attains a spiritual form. Okay, that's what he's telling here. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjuna, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhya cha mayarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasi asamshayaha. He said, therefore, just remember me and do your fighting. It doesn't mean remembering Krishna means we don't do our duties. We still have to go to work. But there is a way we can make everything Krishna conscious by, there is a gradual process to do that. He's saying, still do your duty of fighting, and by doing that, by arpana of or submitting your mind, intelligence, and by doing that, you will certainly come to me. He's saying, come to me means become as pure as Krishna and come to spiritual world. So, but then another clause is that devotees also experience happiness and distress. So how do we handle that? Actually, I'll not go through this because we're getting late, but Chakravarti Thakur says that um, stress could be also given by Bhagavad-Dattam sometimes, because when Krishna sees that the distress will make the devotee more intense and more serious, it's given by Krishna, or it could be Vaishnava Aparadha Phalam. by doing Vaishnava Aparadha, one has to face reactions. So nothing can stop bhakti material, but only nothing material can stop bhakti except the aparadha we do for the Vaishnavas. Okay. So then, okay, just like, and prarabdha karma also we can exhaust. Actually, the end of this life is the end of prarabdha karma, if everything else vanquishes. But that also takes time. Sometimes we may have to face certain reactions. Just like the fan, it's rotating. When you stop, immediately it doesn't stop. So we may end up, even if you do pure bhakti, based on the intensity of the bhakti, we may end up facing reactions sometimes. Okay, but if you do unalloyed, pointed devotion, that also can be removed. So that's why devotees follow this principle. Tattenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvak vapurbhir vidadan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadaya bhak. So they say whatever the experienced devotees say, it's all by my atmakritam, my own reactions, and they never give up the lotus feet of Krishna. They always, with their heart, with their body and the words, they always glorify Krishna and maintain favorable attitude, and such a person is eligible for Dayabhak. He become inheritor of Mukti Pade, of liberation or spiritual world. So that attitude devotee keeps, this very, very practical attitude that, okay, I've given everything to Krishna, I made Krishna my goal, and I'm trying to do everything Krishna conscious. But still, if something else, any reactions come, we don't say, oh, Krishna, why it's happening to me? But we say it's all my reactions. But let me always remember you favorably in all circumstances. That would be the prayer for the devotee. Okay. So we will wrap up with a simple meditation. Yadi madhumathana twadangri sevam hridi vidadhati jahati va viveki tadakhilamapi dushkrutam triloke krutam akrutam na krutam cha sarvam. So there is a twisting here, but what they're telling is, if somebody does a devotional service to Krishna, vidadati, or somebody gives a devotional service to Krishna, they have different effects. So for a person, even though he does dushkrutam, lot of bad things, but he does devotional service properly with a sincere heart, then whatever he has done is nullified. Akrutam. Krutam api akrutam. But somebody who gives up a devotional service, but even if he does so-called good things, even if he doesn't do certain things, he is meant to face certain reactions. That's the essence of this verse. Okay. Of course, it's very, very, very serious implication for the devotional service. Wrapping up, what we discussed is the purpose of karma. It's not a random thing. It's a fair principle, and there is a purpose for that. And then we led everything to how by yoga or bhakti. Then bhakti is one of the types of yoga. We can break the cycle of karma. And definition of Uttamā-Bhakti qualities, and one of the qualities Kleshagni, and then glories of devotional service, that whatever we do, the reactions can be completely nullified, so that we get a free slate to do devotional service peacefully in this life. So that's how our Krishna will reciprocate with us. Okay, so we will end with here Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So any brief questions we can take up? We are already late, I know, but any quick discussion?
So while you were not there, you came back, Śyāmalā. I was speaking to Sujata, and I was just saying that my mind is so restless. I started doing the Tulsi Mala first, but it's so restless. I have kept it at a place, but I'm not able to pick it up. Though I remember Krishna, gratitude is there, but I'm not able to pick it up because I feel, oh my God, that 20 minutes also I could have done so much things. I'm not able to ground myself. That's where I'm struggling right now. And I was waiting for this session to just come back, into that rhythm. Because as a human being, I feel sometimes you don't even know what karma you're doing. It's so natural process that you keep doing it. You're reacting, you're feeling very low. So Sujata just said that she saw a lot of difference while doing the mala, and now I'm inspired to just get into that rhythm. So that was something that I wanted to say.
Yeah, so the only thing we need to do is just somehow pick up the mala and do it. That's the only thing. If you don't even do that much, then it's very difficult to make progress. But
Right.
whatever it is, we should do it like, it's like when the doctor gives a medicine, even if you like it or don't like it, we are meant to take it because it's going to be benefit for us, correct? So we should do it like, even though we don't like it, we don't have any taste, and mind runs everywhere, we bring it back and somehow just take that medicine. That's it. Take it like a doctor's medicine, spiritual medicine for the soul. There is no option. Let's say, assume you're in a terminal disease and that only pill is the only option for you. If you don't take that pill, obviously you're going to die. So similarly, the soul is dying, without the connection with Krishna. So if you don't have that minimum connection, then we are just only going to make things worse and worse for us.
Very true. Very well said. I think, yeah, that's the way I should put it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Bharati, you have to say something. Okay.
Yeah, Bhakti. So, yeah, sometimes, forcefully I take that mala and I just, try to chant, but my thoughts, so many thoughts will come into my mind. And I feel so sad that why I'm not able to concentrate on this.
Yeah, don't need to be sad. These all thoughts are, as I mentioned, durvasana, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
These are all because of the previous sinful tendencies, whatever things we have done. Okay, so nothing to be sad, but now we have taken the medicine. See, for example, if somebody is very dirty, okay, if somebody is very dirty and somebody is telling, okay, go, when they take bath, they can see a lot of mud coming out. So, and if somebody from outside is, hey, he's so dirty, so much mud is coming. No, you should think he's under the shower. It's just a matter of to become clean. You understand, right? So when you chant, when you see restlessness, the Krishna is showing you that, see how miserable you are, how restless you are. You are not able to focus even 5 minutes on one thing. That we notice when we do day-to-day things. But when you see all of that and keep to it, then gradually steady. Everything, all these dirty things goes away, mud goes away. You'll become very clean and peaceful and happy.
Okay. Okay, Pranati. Yeah. Thank you.
That's it. Just have to keep to it. That's it. Yeah. It's a gradual process, but if the process works, the proof is right in front of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sujata, you have to say something?
Yeah, this video is very important, Pranati. I will be waiting for this video.
Oh, this is the recording of this video?
Yeah, recording.
Okay. I think we did Sri Krishna Arpanamastu already, correct? Okay. So we'll end then. Hare Krishna.